on all the new 2015 vehicles today. And by the Missouri Lottery, every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. Royals swept a 2-game series from the Cincinnati Reds at Kauffman Stadium, outscoring Cincinnati 10-1. And then last night, thanks to Ben Zobrist, the Royals went into extra innings. And the first win for Chris Medlin in 2 seasons. And the Royals won the first game here 3-1. And as Kia puts us in the driver's seat, the numbers will show us how the Royals have done so well against Cincinnati.
Well, there's without a doubt, Rhino, they're pitching. And pitching is 90% of the game. Now, when you have an offense like the Royals, they're able to score average 4, maybe 5 runs per game. That's going to help that pitching staff. But shutting those guys down is really something. It's been impressive, especially the power bats they possess.
Win tonight, and the Royals have won 5 in a row. Also trying to accomplish their 10th sweep of the season. Jeremy Guthrie, Kavis Sampson. First pitch is coming up next. With rapid pickup at delivery.panerabread.com. By Ram, find your summer of performance with great deals at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day. Just like last night, a lot of Royals fans are here tonight. And once we got into extra innings, the locals had to get home and get some sleep, get ready for work and school the next day, and it was almost half Royals fans, and they enjoyed a 3-1 13-inning victory.
Yes, and talking with some of the players, especially Eric Hosmer, I said, hey Hos, pretty interesting night last night. He goes, yeah, Hud, how about our Royal Blue fan base? Did you see him? I said, what? You kidding me? We heard him too. They were loud. The players feel it. They feed off of that energy, whether it's at home especially, but on the road now. It's been a beautiful thing.
Royals have the second best road record in the American League. Only the Texas Rangers have played better on the road than KC. And our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. Happy birthday to Ned Yost, who turns 16. Is that right? Oh, no, 61.
Way to go, Ned. Hope your boys get you a W. That's all anybody wants, especially a skipper on his birthday, a win.
There he goes, a little birthday pregame handshake with Eric Hosmer. Alcides Escobar is getting ready to face Kavis Sampson. The Royals will be seeing him for the first time. And here's that starting lineup. Ben Zobrist will be at second base again. Omar Infante is better tonight than he was last night. Ned Yost said that game could have gone 20 innings, and he was going to stay away from Infante, and Infante is available tonight to come off the bench if needed. So Zobrist will be at second base. Gerard Dyson's in left. He will bat ninth. And Ned Yost, with no Salvador Perez in the lineup tonight, Drew Butera instead. He will bat Jeremy Guthrie in the 8th position, and hoping that Dyson eventually would become a secondary leadoff man before they flip over to the top of the order.
Yeah, a while back, I don't know, 10 years ago, used to be a strange thing when you hit that pitcher in that 8th spot. But nowadays, it's more of common practice. You want your speed guy down there to complement the other speed guy at the top.
And now the Cincinnati Reds take the field. And this is 24-year-old Keyvis Sampson. He is out of the San Diego Padres organization, appearing in just 4 games for the Reds. 3 of those are starts, and only allowed 2 home runs in 17 innings pitched, and that's always a key number for any pitcher in Cincinnati.
Sure is, but such a small sample size of 17 innings. But what the Royals are going to be looking at when they see him is a 92 to 94 mile an hour fastball. Good life. He has a little bit of sink and some natural tailing action to his fastball. He throws some occasional sliders, but mainly curves. So he's going to go fastball, curveball. Doesn't have a lot of trust and a lot of feel to his changeup, so he's not going to use that pitch very often. But he pitches confidently with his fastball and curve.
Our Toyota League leaders for tonight. First of all, when Sampson throws a pitch, the Reds will establish a major league record, 20 consecutive starts by rookies. Their entire 5-man rotation is made up of rookies. And if you add up all the experience of those 5 pitchers, you get to 53 career starts. Wow. And by far the fewest in the major leagues. The Marlins and then the Red Sox. We'll see the Red Sox tomorrow, beginning a 4-game series in Boston. So the Reds peeking into the future by starting all the rookies, which of course includes John Lamb, who came over from the Royals in the trade for Johnny Cueto. Tucker Barnhart is back at the plate, and Drew Butera back at the plate for the Royals. So both managers, after using their catcher for 13 innings last night, are going with the backups tonight. And now our umpiring crew. Mark Carlson was behind the plate last night. He's the crew chief. He'll be at third base. So we'll check out the strike zone of Chris Conroy with Gabe Morales at first and Eric Cooper at second base. Sampson has never faced the Royals, but I'm sure he knows that Alcides Escobar is always ready for the very first pitch.
So what a young gun says is, I don't care, I'm going to blow it by you.
92 miles an hour wasn't a great spot for a hitter. And by the way, when Escobar puts that first pitch in play, he's not a 270 hitter as he is overall here. He is a 397 hitter. No balls, 2 strikes.
Fastball, curve. We'll see that combination as long as he stays in until the Royals get him out of there.
Back with a breaking ball, 1-2. Reds got an excellent start from one of their rookies last night. Raisel Iglesias pitched 7 scoreless innings and held the Royals to just 3 hits, and now he hands the baton to Keyvis Sampson.
Zobrist was telling me about Iglesias. He was funky. He had a couple of different deliveries. He had all those arms and legs coming at you, and his fastball was around 92, but it looked like it was 95. And same things we were seeing. You know, they just couldn't pick him up.
Escobar takes the count from 0-2 to 3-2.
He's going to get a fastball right here. Jump on it.
Instead, ball 4. With the count starting at no balls, 2 strikes. And now Ben Zobrist Our most trusted player, brought to you by the most trusted brand, Honda, against Aroldis Chapman, leading off the 9th inning last night.
Oh, and it was perfect. Now, it wasn't that blazing 103 fastball. Matter of fact, it was a slider that didn't do a whole lot, and he let him know.
A strike to Zobrist. The home run was one of 2 hits. And then Zobrist drove in a run in the Royals' 2-run 13th inning. One and one.
Hey, there's a changeup. We'll have to see how often he uses that. Doesn't have a lot of confidence with it. But he'll change his hold times. Sometimes he'll come set and come home, and then other times he'll wait, which is a good ploy for the base runner against him. But he's going to make some mistakes in that stretch. He's a young guy, hadn't exactly figured out the timing of breaking his hands and coming through and coming out of that stretch. Look for the fastball out over.
Bit of a wild throw, and Votto saved an error. Escobar was on base 3 times last night and had a stolen base. Barnhart's a much better throwing catcher than Brian Pena. That's a fair ball, and that ball goes all the way down into the corner. Here comes Escobar around third, and the Royals have scored their 87th run in the first inning this year. That's the best inning for them all season. And Ben Zobrist drives in his 3rd run of this series.
Yep. You know it's coming. Fastball. And where is it? Right down the middle. Zobrist quick. Good topspin. Boy, he got a good kick. Man, that ball looked like it just caught the corner. And Zobrist could have had 3 easily here, but you know, he just pulled the parachute out, said, all right, I'm in scoring position. I'll take it, because Phillips, when he got the ball from the relay, he wasn't even going to attempt to throw him out at third. He'll take it.
Now, we saw the ball land in foul territory. Of course, the ball only has to go over the base in fair territory. This is not a reviewable play. Boundary plays from home plate to first or home plate to third are not reviewable. So Brian Price is just out there to tell Gabe Morales that he doesn't agree with the call, and he's giving Morales the album version.
Sure is. But you know, if you look at this angle right here, okay, it took off. It had some good topspin on it. So topspin, sometimes when you hook, it's going to hook. And it bounced foul, but it looked like it could have caught the corner. The angle that we had was a difficult angle, but you got to give the credit to first base umpire Gabe Morales. He's right on it.
Yeah, and I give him credit too. That last angle really showed that Morales wasn't necessarily following the ball. His eyes stayed on first base as the ball passed, and then he turned his head to the right. See right here, he's still looking at the base, looking at where it was, and then now he turns his head. So he was convinced it went over the bag. A run home, Zobrist at second base, and Lorenzo Cain at the plate. Cain had a good rip at a fastball at 93. Lorenzo was on base twice last night, also had 2 stolen bases. Big curveball, and it falls in for a strike. 0-2. He was 0-2 with Escobar and eventually walked him.
Oh, that was really just great plate discipline by Escobar. We usually see him swing off the plate, but he eyeballed it for his 20th walk. Zobrist has rubbed off on the offense, just like Johnny Cueto has rubbed off on the other starters. So both acquisitions at the deadline have made huge dividends already. Not only with their numbers, but just their persona, just the way they are, the way they carry themselves.
Johnny Cueto not getting a chance to pitch in this series. He will pitch on Friday in Boston. Danny Duffy is scheduled to pitch tomorrow. That'll get the runner over to third. So Kane, and he makes it close, out on the throw by Suarez. But down in the count, he gets the runner to third with one out.
Absolutely love that effort. This is a guy that's playing almost every single day. And he got the runner over and did his job, but he said, you know what? I'm not done. I'm going to beat this infield single out. That's what you like to see if you're a fan.
And now Eric Hosmer, who had an impressive streak come to an end last night, at least one streak, and that was 10 straight games with at least one RBI. A chance to start a new one right here. Ooh. He did extend his hitting streak last night to 9 with a first inning single. It's the third longest RBI streak in Royals history. 10 straight games. Frank White had an 11-game streak, and Mike Sweeney had a 13-game streak, which at the time tied an American League record. Some late movement, but it stayed inside. 1-1.
Looking at Hosmer, watch how he moves. He's moving his front leg and he's twitching that back leg, and he's got some nice rhythm going. See, he's got some rhythm with the bat. See how he's moving his feet. That back leg's helping him remind to stay on that back leg, that backside. And talking to him before the game, I said, Hos, you've never faced this guy before today. What are you looking for? He says, he's got a fastball. If he puts it over the plate, he's going to be in trouble. We're going to get him. That's confident. See how quiet he is now. He's not jumping anymore. When a guy's in a groove like he's in, he just barely lifts up that front foot and sets it right down. He's not charging it towards the pitcher. Good rhythm.
2-2. All this started with a leadoff walk when Sampson was ahead of Escobar 0-2.
A walk, an infield hit, an error by the defense. Those are all rallies for the Royals. They feed off of that.
Still 2-2. One more walk, and the Royals will have gone 13 consecutive games with at least 2 walks. It doesn't sound like a lot, but for the Royals it's a lot, and it's led to a lot of runs. Into right field, that's a base hit. So Hosmer starts a new RBI streak. He has a 10-game hitting streak. Zobrist scores, and the Royals lead 2-0.
Better be hitting your spots if you're Sampson. He's moving in, and that ball's down out over the plate. Haas with a nice job of going down, bending that front leg and going down and meeting it way out front. And the back leg. See how he goes down with that back leg? That's a nice position there to go down and reach. Help him get some leverage down and stay on it.
Mike Moustakas pops it up, and Frazier has room. 2 down. By the way, that's the third time this year that Eric Hosmer has had a hitting streak of 10 or more.
Impressive. I think I had a 9-game hitting streak one time in my whole career. Haas is in a different league.
Last Royal to accomplish that, at least 3 10-game hitting streaks in one season, was Alex Gordon 2 years ago. Now Alex Rios with 2 down. Rios is hitless in his last 13 at bats. You know, with Hosmer at first, I asked him a few days ago, the Royals seem to have 2 knacks. They have a knack for scoring in the first, and they have a knack in the later innings. When they lose a lead or the game is tied, when the opponent scores, they seem to come right back. And Eric thought that the first inning thing might be a fluky thing. That's just, you know, maybe they're ready to play in the first inning. You can't really think of why that's the case. Now Rios with a base hit that puts an end to an 0 for 13. But Hosmer did say, in regard to answering the opponent in the later innings, absolutely there is something to that you can just feel it in the dugout. It's not a lot of rah-rah, come on, let's get him back, but there's just a focus, there's an intensity in the dugout in the later innings, and it's worked. It's worked for the last 3 years.
And a number to back that is 32 come from behind wins. Believe it. And they do.
Salvador Perez caught all 13 innings last night, so it's Drew Butera. And that is right off the center of Barnhart's mask. Not the first time that's happened to him.
Hello. Oh, man. Yeah, sticks that glove out there. That's exactly what he's telling him. Hey, I'm fine. Make some adjustments with that mask and make sure the bars aren't bent.
Next pitch for Sampson will be his 25th. Hosmer's at second, Rios is at first. Butera jumping on a hanging curveball. No balls, 2 strikes. Last night in 13 innings, Ned Yost used all of his relievers except for Luke Hochevar, and all of his position players except for Drew Butera. He also did not use Omar Infante, but Ned said that Infante was not available with those back spasms. So Butera is fresh going into tonight. He strikes out on 3 pitches. Royals get 2. It all started with a leadoff walk. Ben Zobrist drives in Alcides Escobar. And then Eric Hosmer drives in Zobrist. With the Astros, he will lead off and play center field. As it turns out, Billy Hamilton did injure his shoulder on a dive late in the game. So Bourgeois leads off. He's in center field. It's our University of Kansas Hospital injury report. Landed hard on his shoulder and then ended up making a very good throw to second base.
Yeah, but you can tell by how he dove that he landed more on his right shoulder than on his chest. When you dive to your left, to your right, and straight ahead, you always want to land squarely on your chest with your arms in the air. Land on your shoulder, you're looking for trouble.
Hamilton was placed on the disabled list today. Jeremy Guthrie, very good against the National League since joining the Royals. 8 starts. His ERA is under 2.5. And this year against the National League, ERA is 2.65. 1-2 against Bourgeois.
He's looking for his first road win since June 28th. So this will be a big game for Guthrie. There's no doubt about it. He wants to stay out of the middle with his fastball. Like that. Good boring action in. He's got 92 to 94 at times we've seen this season, and he's got a good 2-seam, 4-seam fastball, curveball, changeup, occasional sliders, cutters, a couple quick pitches maybe.
Two and two. There's Omar Infante. Back spasms. Missing last night's game. Better tonight. He's also slumping badly at the plate, so could also use a bit of a mental break. Ned Yost admitted that. It wouldn't hurt for him to give his body a break and give his mind a break. As Infante, the next time he comes to the plate, whenever that is, will try to snap out of an 0 for 26.
Ooh, that's pretty deep. I think that's reached the mental side. But Bourgeois, he's up there battling Guthrie right now. Seeing a lot of pitches. 9th one coming. Butera says this. Roll it over to Escobar.
4 count. Another foul ball.
This is about the time where you just throw one down the middle. Take your chances. With that defense behind Guthrie, man, because that's Bourgeois wearing him down.
Back to Guthrie and into center field. Bourgeois with an 11 pitch at bat. And the Reds, like the Royals, have the leadoff man on in the first inning. Showed you the numbers for Guthrie against the National League since joining the Royals, and that includes a very good start this year against Cincinnati. He got the win back on May the 20th. And Royals starters in that series combined for 7 innings and did not allow a single run. Only one Reds runner reached third base in those 6 innings against Guthrie. Long run for Rios. He is at the line, and it's back into the crowd. Strike on Eugenio Suarez. Here are the Royals defensively, presented by Ford.
A lot of starts over there for Haas, but for Ned Yost, he'll say we're a lot better when Hosmer's on the field, especially over there with that big first base glove, left-handed, picks it with the best of them. 6'5", he's tall, he's got a great throwing arm. Hard to argue with him.
0-2 on Suarez. He homered in the first inning last night, and that ended up being the Reds' only run. Got a run in the first, and then they were scoreless over the next 12 innings. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Not sure if Buter got crossed up there or what, but the way he stabbed at that ball looked like they weren't on the same page. It looked like a cutter to me. Now he wants a straight fastball, and it was something else.
Bourgeois with a little flinch, and it cost him. And now he wants the Reds to take another look at it. Bourgeois had made a move towards second base, and Guthrie's pickoff was timed perfectly.
Brian Price with his head down, manager of the Reds. Look at this throw. Perfect. Haas with the tag. He's got to go. Yeah, little slip with that right foot, but look at the throw. Right to Haas's side. Looked like he tagged him right in the armpit. And no challenge. Price shaking his head, saying, man, these guys are at it again. Guthrie, extremely quick feet. Didn't even have a chance to talk about that great move he's got. And before you know it, he's already picked a guy off.
Fifth time that Guthrie has picked off a runner, tied for most in the American League. Usually you're talking about left-hand pitchers for most pickoffs in the league. Suarez is tied up, still 2-2. And to prove the point, he is tied with Wade Miley and Joe Beimel.
Exactly. That's really great company to be in with lefties, and you're a right-hander. That just tells you about exactly what we saw. Quick, cat-like quick feet, and it's all about where you throw that ball lots of times. And when he puts it on Hosmer's glove, there being left-handed, it's an easy catch and tag for him.
Kane coming up in center field, 2 outs. And now Guthrie gets Joey Votto with nobody on. Royals held Votto hitless last night. He did reach with 3 walks, and he leads the major leagues in that department. 93 walks already for Votto, which that's a kind of a controversial topic in this neck of the woods. Some will praise Votto for his good eye and his high on base percentage. Others in Cincinnati feel like Votto walks too much. Maybe he should be swinging the bat more.
I think it's a lot like some of the Royals hitters that are naturally aggressive swingers, and they just swing and they want to hit. And for a guy like him who's had plate discipline most of his career, I think it's hard for him to come out of his patient zone. But there are times if the skipper says, hey, look, I want you to swing more, then he swings more. But obviously hasn't been addressed by the field manager. Two and two. You can tell by, Votto, 58 RBIs. They'd like to have him up a little bit higher.
And sometimes that's the answer to the side that says he should be swinging more, that they'll trade more RBIs for walks. Another player who had some big years in Cincinnati carried that label around with him as well, Adam Dunn. Nice on base percentage, would hit some home runs, but never really had the total of RBIs that would go with a hitter with that many home runs. Well, he swung the bat there. 22nd home run of the year. And it's a 2-1 game. Royals leading in the first inning.
Let's see where this ball was. Up. That's the problem for Guthrie at times. Hopefully, he'll be able to stay on those corners a little bit more as this game goes on.
So without the pickoff, it's a tie game. And it brings up Brandon Phillips. And a slow curveball is outside for ball one.
It's 14th home run that Guthrie's given up to a left-hander. The ball's got a chance.
And it ties the game. Back-to-back home runs. Votto and Phillips. Number 9 for Phillips. So the Royals get 2 and the Reds get 2 in the first inning.
I thought that was a hanging breaking ball. It was, and it hung right where right-handed hitters like it, especially when it starts up around your shoulders. You know that when it comes down, it's going to be belt high.
That was the smoke from the fireworks of the Votto home run, and Phillips hit the ball into that smoke, and now we have, it looks like there's a fire in the stadium as the wind is blowing it from center field right back into the stadium. 1-1 on Jay Bruce.
In order for Guthrie to be successful, he's got to be able to pitch inside and knock those hitters off the plate. Opens up the outside part. Don't let him get too comfortable. And he was able to stay away from a hit batter last time he was out there, but he was able to stay out of the middle for the most part. He's hit 8 hitters this year. He's hit 8 batters.
And now the 30th pitch of the inning for Guthrie. So both Sampson and Guthrie have had long innings. 2-2 on Bruce. And you have to be careful with this guy. He has slumped lately, and yet Jay Bruce has hit 18 home runs this year. Really struggled over his last 2 weeks. Full count. Hit well to center. And Kane has to run it down on the warning track. So with 2 outs and nobody on, Votto homers, Phillips homers, and then Jay Bruce gets the daylights out of one to center field for an out. Great American Ballpark. 2 runs for the Royals and the Reds in their halves of the first inning. Royals got RBIs from Zobrist and Hosmer against Sampson in the top of the first. And Guthrie, after chatting with Dave Island, leads off the second inning against Sampson. Guthrie is batting 8th. So it's Guthrie, Dyson, and Escobar. Out to Suarez. Guthrie running hard, and he is out. Time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag KCDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Once again, hashtag KCDataStrongFan. The first manager I remember hitting the pitcher 8th, and he would do it almost every night, was Tony La Russa in Mark McGwire's best years in St. Louis. So it's a bit of a different reason why Ned Yost is doing it tonight and why Brian Price did it last night with Billy Hamilton. Tony La Russa did it because he wanted Mark McGwire to bat 3rd, because that's when some of the advanced metrics were coming out and the mindset of a number 2 and number 3 hitter was changing. Those are guys who are getting the most at bats. So, you know, put your best hitters in the number 2 spot and number 3 slot. Number 2 guy no longer being a kind of a slash guy. So he wanted McGwire to bat 3rd to get as many at bats as he could, but he wanted to create it as a number 4 position by batting a position player 9th. So after the first inning, when McGwire would hit 3rd, then later in the game you'd have 9, 1, 2, and then McGwire. So that was Tony La Russa's thinking.
Yeah, and you know, he was a thinker, a smart manager, but to that point, not too many managers had ever done that. So I remember there was quite an uproar. It's like, wow, what are they doing? You know, anything that's not normal, especially when it comes to a National League lineup, boy, that made them Cardinal fans. They were second guessing. They were going, what's he doing? What, we've been watching ball here for over 100 years. Oh.
Dyson down on strikes. That's Sampson's second. Yeah, this game has a reputation of being slow to change, and so rather than being labeled as somebody who's innovative, for a long time people would kind of, you know, look down their nose and say, oh, this guy thinks he's reinventing the wheel here.
Yeah, when really he's just trying to win games, and look where he is now. He's got a plaque in the Hall of Fame.
Ned Yost's thinking is just trying to create a dual leadoff spot by batting Guthrie 8th. Then you have Dyson followed by Escobar. Get those guys hitting back to back rather than have Guthrie break those 2 up.
Sampson so far this inning, Ryan, is a different pitcher. Got those first inning jitters out of the way like a lot of pitchers have, and now he's executing. Look at that spot. He's good. His curveball's down right below the knees. Fastball's on the corner. Getting ahead of hitters. It's amazing what that 2 runs did for him. Got him back in the game. Says, all right, we're back even.
He was 0-2 on Escobar in the first inning and eventually walked him, and then Eske scored one of the 2 runs. And at one point he was 0-2 with Eske in this at bat. Still 1 ball 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was a hanger there. Eske just missed it. Good swing.
Spoils another pitch. Nice grab by a fan. Brought his glove. Made a nice play. Puts it in play. Suarez to the middle, and he can't glove it. And Escobar doing what the Royals do, avoid the strikeout, put the ball in play, and Escobar's on with 2 outs.
Escobar does that as well as anybody. Now that goes down as a booty knock for sure. His backside flew out. That ball was on the outer half and down, and he just kind of off balance, kept a good level swing on it, topped it.
And now Esky has 4 hits in this series. Bringing up Ben Zobrist. Zobrist drove in Escobar in the first inning, and Escobar was at first base.
It's like to me, Sampson hops off the rubber with his back foot. Instead of pivoting on it, he hops off.
With Pena behind the plate last night, the Royals ran quite a bit. They were 4 out of 5 in stolen base attempts. The Royals are second in the American League in stolen bases. Escobar does not have a big lead. And it's 1-1 to Zobrist, who is now hit safely in 6 straight. His double got Escobar home. Double up the right field line, which Brian Price argued. So the Royals second in the American League, 5th in the major leagues, with the Reds leading with 111 stolen bases. Three and 1. With every pitch, the Royals are getting closer and closer to the Reds bullpen, as Sampson is moving in on 50 pitches, and we're only in the 2nd inning. Full count, and now Escobar will be running.
That was a great spot for him there. 3 and 1.
Look at the sweat dripping off the bill of his cap. Remember Dwan Brazelton, who pitched for the Tampa Bay Rays, and the way he would sweat like he was pitching and taking a shower at the same time.
Yep.
Pulled foul, still 3 and 2. Sometimes it's an exaggeration when we say it. A guy is just dripping with sweat, but look at the bill of his cap. I mean, it's just
it's like they poured a bucket of water on it.
Yeah, or he's got some sort of a faucet on the inside of his hat. Votto moving in, trying to keep Escobar a little closer. He takes off, and Zobrist hits it into left center field. Bourgeois will go to get it, and Mike Jershely is going to hold Escobar at third, and Zobrist hustles for a double. Second double the game for Ben Zobrist.
Clinic. He knew he was going to get a fastball. Look what they're playing. He's going to pick that spot right there and hit it against the shift. That's perfect execution there. And Escobar, oh, beautiful swing. See how he just uses his hands there. He's all set up with his foundation of his base, and good balance, and hustled all the way. Second double of the night.
Second and third for Lorenzo Cain.
That low fastball, man, he was all over it. Sampson kept the ball down, didn't want him to hit it out of the park, but Zobrist said, all right, I'll just go with it.
This will be pitch number 50 for Sampson. Cain chased one down in the dirt, 0-1.
Look at how effortless this swing was by Zobrist. Okay, gonna see it. Little kick. Just used his hands perfectly.
Sampson got Guthrie on a ground out and Dyson on a strikeout, so he was on his way to a quick inning. And then the Escobar single and the Zobrist double. In tight, 1-1 to Kane. He grounded out to short in the first inning. One of the best in the major leagues with 2 outs. Only D. Gordon has a better batting average with 2 outs, and the Royals are the best in the American League with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. That'll be back into the crowd, 1-2. I think he'd like to see that pitch again.
Yeah, I think he would rather pull that one. That was a pitch that he hits for homers, but he stayed inside of it. Looked like he was trying to shoot it to right field. Go back to that curveball.
Kane wouldn't chase that one. Why do you think the Royals have been so good with 2 outs and runners in scoring position? Is it just a simplified approach?
I think they bear down. I think they, especially with runners out there, they just say, all right, you don't care how many outs there are, we're going to get you, we're going to make it hurt even more. And I think it's their focus. But a lot of times, like Lorenzo's trying to go to right field, he wants to pick up those RBIs. They do, they simplify it.
Oh, base hit center field. And Bourgeois boots it in center, and the Royals will get 2 more. With 2 outs and nobody on, the Royals get 3 straight hits and 2 more runs.
There it is. Simplified. Going with it again. Another good low fastball, he thought. Sampson, but it's right over the middle of the plate. And you can't sneak a piece of cheese by a hungry rat. And Lorenzo Cain, he was upset last night that he left some runners on, and he threw a tantrum in that dugout. And now he says, all right, I got another shot. I'm not going to let my guys down now. Beautiful stroke. Back-to-back handsy type swings.
And it's another career high for Lorenzo Cain, 54 RBIs. So he has career highs in home runs, runs scored, triples. He has tied his career high in doubles, and now a new career high with 54 driven in.
You know, that ball was hit so hard, and with a wet ground out there, and Bourgeois, it tied him up. It handcuffed him. That ball skipped off that turf, and there's your action starting to get going. Stirring.
If they haven't gotten a call yet, they're anticipating a call.
Oh, man, that was a scalded dog right there now. Handcuffed him. No chance. Now he catches that cleanly, and there might have been a play at the plate. Jersh might have had to hold Zobrist as hard as it was hit.
Inside to Hosmer, no swing. Mark Carlson, third base umpire. Hosmer drove in a run in the first inning. He lost a 10-game RBI streak last night. So he's driven in a run in 11 of the last 12 games. And it has 72. Chopped out to Phillips. And that's the inning. Deuces are wild. Royals with 2 in the first, the Reds with 2 in the first, and the Royals with 2 more in the second.
down right by the Royals dugout. As a matter of fact, Edinson Volquez sitting right by me, almost always has a smile on his face. Our AT&T U-Burst Rewind takes a look at Eddie at the plate last night, doing all kinds of goofy shenanigans with the look back and the bat twirl and sticking the tongue out at Brandon Phillips. And he said that this is something that he has done every time he has gone up against his former team when he is batting with his good friend Brandon Phillips. And Brandon, talking to him today, says he thinks it's one of the funniest things he has ever seen. Says, I love that guy. It is absolutely priceless. He has me down to a T. What's interesting on this one, too, guys, is that when Eddie came up to the plate, he mentioned to Brian Pena, hey, I'm going to do this if that's okay. And Brian said, yeah, that's fine. No problem whatsoever. And then perhaps a little gamesmanship. He calls for a couple sliders in a row. And Brian said, well, yeah, if he's going to mess with us, I'm going to mess back with him. Eddie thought that it was because he had thrown a couple of curveballs to Raisel Iglesias. The bottom line with Eddie, he's got to be having fun when he's out there.
Look at that. And just making sure that Phillips knows that he's mocking him. Proving once again, Hud.
Yeah, look, there's nothing wrong with that. These guys are having a good time.
Guthrie strikes out Todd Frazier to begin the second inning. Now Tucker Barnhart, switch hitting catcher, broke his bat. Kane coming up and has to block it as Barnhart is on with a 1-out single. If you haven't heard, the Royals have announced an exclusive ticket package that includes priority for every potential postseason game played at Kauffman Stadium. You can purchase any 10 of the remaining regular season home games, plus make a deposit for 2016 season tickets, and you'll receive postseason ticket priority. To take advantage of this opportunity, call 816-504-4040 or go to Royals.com/season tickets. Make that Royals.com/tickets. 1 on 1 out to Skip Schumacher. Hitless in his last 13 at-bats. He is the Reds' left fielder tonight. Two and one. Guthrie with 2 down, gave up home runs to Votto and Phillips. That tied the game at 2, and the Royals got him 2 runs right back in the second inning. And that foul ball got home plate umpire Chris Conroy, who tells Drew Butera he's fine.
Yeah, he's got that pin in his pocket right there. It came close to hitting that baby.
Curveball, got him. Coincidence or not, that was an important pitch for Guthrie in his start against the Angels on Thursday. I don't know about you, Hud, but when I think of Guthrie, I think fastball, slider, occasional curveball. But on Thursday, he threw his curveball about 1/3 of the time, and that was a season high for him, and had great success in doing so.
Yeah, and it was working for him that particular night. So you never know every 5th day which pitch is going to be your money pitch, which one's going to work, which one's not. But Guthrie, for the most part, had good command with his fastball and that curve. He stayed out of the middle of the plate against the Angels.
Sampson has just 4 at-bats. Two and one. curveball, and it struck out Sampson. Guthrie strikes out the side. And the Knights just moving along like this. Well, maybe not. Guthrie striking out the side in the bottom of the second, put an end to that. Top of the order, Escobar and Zobrist, 3 for 3, 2 doubles, RBI, 4 runs scored already, and Lorenzo Cain put the Royals in front with a 2-run single in the second inning. On Sunday, 2 of the UFC's hottest rising stars face off as elite featherweight destroyer Max Holloway takes on dangerous double threat Charles Oliveira. Plus a welterweight showdown between Neil Magny and Eric Silva, who's very quick. Catch UFC Fight Night Sunday at 5:30 p.m. only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. I don't want any part of Eric Silva. Very, very quick.
Yeah, either one of them guys, really.
That will be broadcast from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. If you ever go to that Canadian province, it's Saskatchewan. See, we say Saskatchewan, but you go there, Saskatchewan.
Glad you're educating me on that side of Canada. I've never been on that side of Canada.
Sampson has thrown 60 pitches. 2-1 to Moustakas. 0 for 1 tonight with a foul out to third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zobrist and Hosmer drove in the runs in the first inning, and then with 2 outs and nobody on, the Royals got 2 more in the second on the Lorenzo Cain 2-run single. Right field, and just foul. Ball really carried. Nice grab by a young guy. That didn't look like it had home run distance at all, but it just continued to carry. The pride and joy of Lachlan. That guy brought his glove, and with another buddy reaching in front of him, he made the play.
Good concentration.
Base hit for Mike Moustakas, putting an end to an 0 for 10. And the Royals have the leadoff man on in the third inning.
Yeah, no drastic shift on Moose tonight. and he would have been able to hit it over that shift with that swing.
So Moustakas puts an end to an 0 for 10. Alex Rios put an end to an 0 for 13 with a single in the first inning. And a slider in for a strike from Sampson. Royals have 7 hits already and 8 base runners in 2+ innings. 1-1 on Rios. 3 hits and a walk in the first inning, 3 hits in the second inning, and now a base hit to begin the third. Two and one. Over the years, talking to pitchers when they get called up from the minor leagues, and Sampson is experiencing this tonight. Just his 5th big league game. You know, what's the biggest adjustment, maybe the biggest surprise outside of just better talent at this level? 2-2 on Rios. And it seems to me that what I hear most often from pitchers, how difficult it is at this level compared to the minor leagues to get the 3rd strike and to get the 3rd out. You get ahead of a hitter in the minor leagues and he's kind of mentally defeated and the at-bat's over. 2 outs in the minor leagues, the inning's over. Not so at the major league level.
No, they grind you. And also, too, I've heard pitchers say bat speed. Bat speed's another thing. They wait longer, and when they unload, they're quick to the zone. But it's not easy. But I can tell you it's easier to throw a pitch than it is to hit one. How simple is that?
Out to Suarez. He gets a nice big hop. And then Phillips had the ball stick in his glove and not able to turn a double play. So Rios is on with 1 out. A reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Sampson got Butera with a fastball in the first inning. Left center field, and it hangs up for Schumacher. 2 down. And Rios goes back to first. And now Jeremy Guthrie. So it's not the end of the world, but as we bring up in these National League style games, the goal, the ultimate goal, is to get the hitter before the pitcher to make the last out. So you make the pitcher lead off the next inning. So Phillips' inability to turn that double play brings Guthrie to the plate, and if he makes out, then you have Dyson leading off the 4th. One and one. Barnhart going to go out and have a chat with Sampson, who is up over 70 pitches. 70 pitches in 2 2/3 innings. And when that guy wakes up, he's going to start warming up, getting ready for the Royals in the 4th inning. But he knows it's going to be a long night, so he's going to get a little nap in.
Or he's just in a focus period.
Shallow right. That is a foul ball by a few inches.
Guthrie looking for his 6th career hit in 58 at bats. couple doubles, 2 runs scored, and he's got an RBI.
There you go, a little power nap. Oh, that's Jumbo Diaz. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right, I'm ready to go. Coming back our way, and just below. I hope we didn't just get Jumbo Diaz fined. But you can get a few winks out in the bullpen.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he was doing. Looked like it, though.
Maybe some visualization. You know,
yeah.
Visualizing what Royals hitters he's going to face and thinking about pitch sequences.
Maybe he was.
Guthrie, base hit left field. And once again, Sampson having difficulty getting the final out of the inning. Jeremy Guthrie is on with 2 down. And that's Guthrie's first hit of this season.
Nice. That's got to feel good. Thank you. Fastball belt high, stayed on top. And we saw quite a few pitches at that bat.
RBI chance for Dyson. Royals trying to score in a 3rd consecutive inning. Dyson struck out looking at a fastball in the 2nd inning. He was a late addition last night after Omar Infante was scratched, and Dyson chipped in with 2 hits, a stolen base, and scored the go-ahead run in the 13th inning. 79 pitches, and it's Villarreal, not Diaz, warming up, and he's warming up in a hurry. This will be the 80th pitch for Sampson, so an average of 20 pitches per inning, or way over 20 pitches per inning in the first 3. And he's going to get a ground ball to Phillips, and the force on Guthrie at second base. And it wasn't easy, but Sampson has his first scoreless inning.
Yankees beat the Twins 4-3, and our Mazda game break shows you this home run from Greg Bird. It's his 2nd on the day. 6 games into his big league career, he provides all the runs for the Yankees. The first baseman with a pair of home runs, 4 RBIs. And look at the standings there. right over my niece who's in on her way to college, Danielle Belzer, and her mom, Stacy Belzer. So didn't know they were going to get a little bit of TV time. Royals, best record in the American League. The Yankees just sweeping the Minnesota Twins. And then you see Toronto, Houston, and LA. That's the one that we will be keeping an eye on.
Now, how long until we get a reaction here? Somebody texts them and lets them know that they're on TV. Here's Bourgeois. Curveball is low. Not yet. It's coming. In the meantime, working on some sort of a salad. That is Joel's wife's Susan's sister. We saw them in the lobby of the hotel. Danielle on the left on her way to Miami of Ohio. Here we go. Here's the text. Leadoff walk to Bourgeois. Oh my gosh, we're on TV. And they're talking about me eating a salad.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We're going to kill Joel. Thataway, Joel. And now the texts are just coming in one after another. Oh boy. Well, Guthrie with a 4-2 lead. Last thing he wanted to do is walk Bourgeois, but Bourgeois has been on base twice leading off an inning, filling in for Hamilton, who went on the disabled list. And he almost picked up Bourgeois a second time. He got Bourgeois in the first inning after Bourgeois had singled. Now Guthrie falls behind Suarez 2-0, and Drew Butera goes out to have a chat with Guthrie. This is the 7th time that Butera has been behind the plate for a Jeremy Guthrie start. Suarez flied to Kane in center field in the first inning. Two and one. Suarez coming over in a trade with the Tigers. That's where we saw him last, playing in Detroit. In the deal that sent pitcher Alfredo Simon to Detroit, the Reds picked up Suarez. Bourgeois has excellent speed, but he only has one stolen base this year. And now 3-1. How would you like to be a Little League catcher in Houston and you face a team and their lineup goes Carl Crawford, Michael Bourne, and Jason Bourgeois? Bourgeois runs, and that ball's hit to right center field and all the way to the wall. Bourgeois scores from first. Suarez drives in a run, and now it's 4-3.
Well, you would think that that was part of the conversation with Butera when he went out there, talking about, you know, let's not worry about the runner. Let's concentrate on the hitter. And he'd fall behind 2-0, and eventually he's got to come in there. Lorenzo Cain with a little slip there, and you know, Suarez got him because he fell behind and he had to come in there with a fastball.
And now Joey Votto, and he did this in the first inning. Royals by 1. The tying runs at second base with nobody out. Votto had a good rip at a breaking ball. That was his 22nd home run. Now 1 RBI shy of 60. One and one. Had him off balance just enough. Suarez back to tag. Kane's throw, a good one, close, but Suarez gets to third.
Like how Lorenzo Cain was able to back up on that. He had plenty of time and get some momentum coming in. Had a lot on the throw and very accurate. I mean, that's a beauty. Moose just a tad late on it, but it was close. Excellent try, Lorenzo Cain. They're looking for his 6th outfield assist. Just missed it.
Brandon Phillips homered just over the fence in left field in the first inning. And now he has the tying run at third base with 1 out. Infield in for the Royals. Ball 1 low. That was the 2nd home run that Phillips has hit against Jeremy Guthrie. And look at that, 7 for 10. 3 extra base hits, 2 home runs. Setting up inside. 2-0.
And if you ask Phillips why he's so successful against Guthrie, what do you think he would say?
I just see the ball well.
I see the ball well off him. That's the truth.
Good changeup. 2-1.
That's the one he saw in the first inning and just a wall scraper. But it worked. Hung the curve. But now this at bat here, Guthrie's been pitching him inside, backing him up off the plate a little bit. See if he could execute away. Another off-speed pitch coming.
2-2. Suarez doubled. That scored Bourgeois, and then he went to third on the fly ball by Votto. Guthrie had 66 pitches, so he's averaging about 20 pitches per inning, a little more than that. And his counterpart, Kivas Sampson, is averaging over 25 pitches per inning. And that's the last thing Ned Yost and Brian Price wanted to worry about tonight, was using their bullpens extensively. Reds made one roster change to add a fresh arm to their bullpen. The Royals did not. And even though the Royals needed 7 innings from their bullpen last night, it was 7 pitchers going only 1 inning.
That helped. Keep those pitches down so they'll be able to go again if they need to.
Popped up. Zobrist circles around Hosmer. 2 down, so Guthrie makes a good pitch on Phillips with a runner at third with less than 2 outs. And now 2 down.
Got away with one there. That ball was down the middle, but looks like Phillips has pulled off it. Maybe trying to do a little too much.
Jay Bruce hit one right on the button in the first inning, but lined out to Kane in deep center field. Curveball's a little bit inside. Reds first round pick 10 years ago. Jay Bruce. Late on the fastball, 1-1. Big home runs, big strikeouts for Jay Bruce. And another pop-up. Dyson is there, and that's the inning. So the Reds get one. They had a runner at third with 1 out, but Guthrie gets Phillips and Bruce, and that's all the Reds get in the third. So at the end of 3, the Royals lead by 1. (4-3), and now DraftKings shows us the players to watch tonight. Good call on Ben Zobrist. 2 hits, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Bad call on John Lester because of 7 runs, 7 hits against the Tigers in fewer than 3 innings. Go to DraftKings.com, enter the promo code BRoyal to play daily fantasy baseball for free.
Big Papi, he's inching closer to 500 home runs in his career.
Alcides Escobar has done his job as a leadoff man. He's been on twice and he's scored twice. Second time he's led off an inning. 8 more home runs for David Ortiz to get to 500. And Escobar swung so hard he went down to a knee.
Ooh.
Royals scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and they had 2 on in the third, but Sampson got out of it, and now Escobar almost took one on the chin. So the Royals have the leadoff man on for the 3rd time in 4 innings. And how about a 2-walk game for Escobar?
I'll take it.
Wednesday night here in Cincinnati, and if we were at Kauffman Stadium, it would be a student night and local music showcase presented by Inc. magazine. Next Wednesday, the Orioles are in town, and music from the Fantastics. Tickets for just $8 at the box office or Royals.com/student night. Special deals for students in the outfield experience, food and drink specials while listening to live local music from Kansas City bands. Alcides Escobar, leadoff man, has been on 3 times. Ben Zobrist, the number 2 hitter, has been on 2 times. And those 2 have scored all 4 of the Royals' runs. One and 2.
It was a nice way he talked that ball into it, knocked in a run, scored 1. That beautiful stroke there. Came around to score again.
Way in on him, and somehow he got around on it. It was never fair, but still got the barrel on a pitch that was about 2 inches away from hitting him on the jersey.
He was looking in there. And kept his hands inside. He wants to straighten it out.
Change up is low, 2 and 2.
You know, when you're selective like he is, you end up getting more good pitches to hit, because that pitcher and catcher, they're working together saying, you know what, gosh, you didn't swing at that borderline pitch, we got to make a better one. So you're going to hit for a higher average, you're going to walk more, it's always good for the average.
Ben Zobrist is 3 for 3, and the Royals' first 2 hitters tonight have been on base 6 times in the first 4 innings.
Can't beat him inside. They're trying to, but then again, he got a strike, and he handled it quick.
Two on, nobody out. Sampson has thrown 91 pitches, so he's on his way to a 100-pitch game in 4 innings. Slow breaking ball. Kane takes it for a strike. Four high-stress innings for Sampson. Well, it's the second time he's almost nailed a Royal on the chin.
Yeah, that's a little bit high and tight there. See if he'll throw him a hanging curve like the first pitch he threw him. Lorenzo Cain probably made a little mental note of that, said, all right, If he throws me that one again, I'm going to get up underneath it.
Little bit outside, 2-1. Kane singled to center last time up, driving in Escobar and Zobrist, and they're out there right now with nobody out. Sixth opportunity already for the Royals hitter with a runner in scoring position. Phillips thought about going to second base. He'll get Kane at first, but the Royals get Escobar to third and Zobrist to second with one out.
Lorenzo wanted more, but if you're going to make it out, that's not a bad one there, especially in the situation called for it. Sampson's done.
95 pitches in 3 1/3 innings. Chevy called to the bullpen. Fourth inning, the Royals lead 4-3. And Brian Price, Reds manager, goes to the only pitcher he didn't use last night, Pedro Villarreal. 20 games and allowing an opponent's batting average of over 300. The Royals have had 11 base runners already. Hosmer drove in a run in the first inning, his 72nd of the year, and then grounded to second in the second. Escobar is at third, Zobrist is at first. There is one out.
Not so sure Villarreal might be the answer here, especially to Hosmer.
In too tight, ball one. Almost got him on the knee. 2 balls, no strikes. And now they're going to put Hosmer on and take their chances with Mike Moustakas.
Sixth intentional walk to Hosmer this season.
So 12 base runners over 3 1/3 innings, and they're loaded up for Mike Moustakas. He had been hitless in his previous 10 at-bats when he singled to right in the 3rd inning. Ball 1 is high.
Nothing but sinkers. 88 to 93 so far. A little slider. Haven't seen any off-speed pitches from him. Try to keep it down.
Good riding fastball there.
Some action on it.
Not a big strikeout pitcher. 34 innings, 16 strikeouts. Looks like a guy who should be piling up strikeouts. 236 pounds. And then that one looked like it was moving the other way, like a cutter.
Bush is due. 0 for 7 with him loaded.
Broke his bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Escobar walked. Zobrist singled. With 1 out, Hosmer was intentionally walked. Backing out of play, still 2-2. Royals do not have Kendrys Morales with the National League rules, or Salvador Perez in the lineup tonight. Sal getting the night off after catching 13 innings. And here come the Royals fans. Three and 2. Let's go Royals chant breaking out, and the best the Reds fans can do is just try and drown it with a chorus of boos.
Well, you know, at least the PA system, they're not playing music or something like they did in a few cities that we've been in. You know, the Royal chant gets so loud they start playing music to drown it out.
Reds bullpen last night gave up 3 runs. The Royals bullpen gave up no runs, only 1 hit. Pitch was down and in, probably ball 4. 2 down.
You know, Moose, he was wanting to turn on it. He was hoping for a fastball out over the plate, but very out with a good cutter there. Mixing in some cutters and sinkers.
Bases loaded, 2 down to Alex Rios.
Thank you.
You brought this up before with Rios about keeping that front shoulder in and driving the ball the other way. He chops a lot of balls foul outside of third base. I mean, when I saw that right there, I felt like, boy, we've seen a lot of that this season.
Yeah, I agree. You know, and that's just a tendency for a hitter who's really struggled for most of the second half of the season since he's come back from the injury, and he's just trying to do so much. He's trying to be a little too quick in there, and he wants to pop one out of the park in the worst way.
And now he chops it to third. Frazier will take it to the bag, and the Royals waste an opportunity. They get the starter Sampson out of the game. They have the bases loaded, 1 out, and Villarreal gets the Reds out of the inning. So that's why we are only in the 4th inning. And the Royals still have the lead. Our sprint cuts of the game. That fly ball from Votto got Eugenio Suarez to third with 1 out. So the tying run at third with 1 out. But Guthrie got Brandon Phillips, the number 4 hitter, to pop to second. And then Jay Bruce, the number 5 hitter, on a fly ball to left field. So Guthrie buckled down and the Royals lead by 1. And now dealing with Todd Frazier. Guthrie struck him out in the 2nd inning. Guthrie trying to do something to better manage his pitch count. This is number 74. And it's 2-0 to Frazier. Kivas Sampson, the Red starter, threw 95 pitches in 3 1/3 innings. Frazier with 29 home runs, only 4 of those since the All-Star break. And he was 0 for 6 last night with 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, and his swing looks way off. It's long, it's loopy, and he looks like he's out of sync. So if they can just sneak through before he heats up, that'd be good.
Back-to-back innings where Guthrie has issued a leadoff walk. Guthrie's 2nd walk tonight, and it brings up Tucker Barnhart. He reached with a single to center field in the 2nd inning. Switch hitter. There's a curveball in for strike 1.
Guthrie's induced 6 ground ball double plays. He'd like that here.
Barnhart was in the box, and Jim Riggleman, the third base coach, was yelling at him to step out of the box and look at the signs. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You're not going to find a better baseball man, really, than Riggleman. He's got a lot of experience as a coach, as a manager. He's an excellent teacher.
Barnhart down on strikes, and that's Guthrie's 4th. Don't forget the Royals are inviting all local business professionals to Kauffman Stadium next Thursday for Business Day at the K. The event will feature a pregame presentation by Royals general manager Dayton Moore. There will be network opportunities, snacks, and an opportunity to see the game. You'll also get $10 loaded value. You can use that for food and beverages throughout the ballpark. And then the Royals and the Orioles. And that is an afternoon game, 1:10 game on Thursday the 27th. Royals.com/business to purchase the special ticket package. 0-2 on Schumacher. Guthrie struck him out back in the second inning. And that ball got through Butera.
Talking about Jim Riggleman, as we see this, going to get up underneath Butera. It's going to be a wild pitch. 1990, I get traded to the Cardinals. I didn't like to play third. That was one of the least favorite positions. And I'm in Candlestick Park, and Candlestick, the wind blew hard every day. I mean, and so Whitey Herzog started me at third, and Pedro Guerrero was our first baseman. And I couldn't throw it to Pedro over there at first base in between innings. You know, the ground balls, it would just sail over his head, everything, and I was petrified. And I remember going, oh my gosh, I'm brand new to the team and I want to look good here, but I can't even make the throw. So Jim, I went up to Coach Riggleman. I said, Mr. Riggleman, can you help me? He goes, yeah, shorten up your arm stroke. You're throwing, you know, you got a long arm swing. Shorten up your stroke, throw it like a catcher, and just throw it like a dart across the diamond. And I went out there and I shortened up my throw, and it was amazing that one adjustment, how confident I became. Just a little advice like that from Riggleman made me feel so good over there at third base, because without any kind of coaching help at all, I would have never made a play over there.
You won a Gold Glove that year, right?
No, I never even come close. But look, it was a nerve-wracking time. You know, Candlestick was a terrible place to play. It was always freezing cold. Coldest summer I've ever spent anywhere. And it was just petrified. I was scared to death. But Coach Riggleman, thank you for taking that pride away by a simple adjustment.
Tyson in left field. 2 outs. And if I recall, Pedro Guerrero was the anti-Eric Hosmer. Was he not?
He was the worst first baseman I've probably ever seen in all the years in the minors and everything. He wouldn't stretch for a ball. Anything over his head, he just look at it and sail over. Anything to his left or right. And I always felt sorry for Ozzie Smith, because Ozzie had to make a perfect throw to him all the time. He couldn't dig the ball out of the dirt, but he could hit, and they had to find a place for him. He couldn't play anywhere else, and Ozzie would just shake his head and say, "That just makes me a better player."
Villarreal has to hit. Brian Price needed to make a pitching change in the top of the 4th inning. Villarreal does have 3 at-bats, close, but Frazier is safe at second base. Villarreal is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Joe Vencius, our producer, reminds us of one of the great Pedro Guerrero lines of all time, and if we have time we'll pass it on. We're 1 strike away from the inning being over. Pedro was struggling on defense, right? And was it Tommy Lasorda who went to him?
Team meeting, I think it was.
Said, Pedro, what's the problem? And, you know, he just says, what are you afraid of? He says, well, I'm afraid of the ball being hit to me at third base. Well, get that out of your mind. You know, what else are you afraid of? The ball being hit to Steve Sachs.
That's beautiful. Tommy Lasorda, one of the greatest storytellers that ever lived in baseball.
Guthrie moving up on 100 pitches. 92 in 3 2/3 innings. Having a tough time disposing of Villarreal.
Maybe you hook him right here. Throw him that curveball.
He does, and it's hit back to Guthrie, and that would be the bottom of the 4th inning. Leadoff walk, wild pitch. Frazier does not score, and the Royals still lead by 1 at the end of 4. So we are just going to the top of the 5th inning. It is coming up on 10:45 Eastern time. Royals with 2 in the first, 2 in the second. And in the 1st inning, as the Royals have done so often this year, they were on the scoreboard.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's hard to get these guys out, especially if you're missing out over the middle. They're going to make you pay. But then Reds come right back. Back-to-back home runs answered. But then Lorenzo Cain said, all right, runners at second and third with runners in scoring position, I can hit. And then it was the Reds' turn to get back at it. Now that's where we're standing. They score Bourgeois 4-3.
It'll be Butera, Guthrie, and Dyson against Pedro Villarreal. He came on with 1 out in the 4th inning. Fell behind Eric Hosmer and ended up walking him intentionally. That loaded the bases. Villarreal got Moustakas and Rios, and the Royals did not add to their lead.
First slider we've seen from Villarreal. He's been using cutters and sinkers, and that really fooled Butera.
He has struck out and flied to left field tonight. Barnhart tried to pull it up and into the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-2. After tonight, the Royals have one more game against a National League team, and that's a makeup game with the Cubs in the final week of the regular season. It's been another good year for the Royals against the National League. They are 12-6 and have won 28 of their last 39 against the National League, going back to the end of 2013. And that's without Ned Yost in the National League parks being able to have Kendrys Morales in the lineup.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night a little bit. You know, this really doesn't matter. With the mentality that these players have and their attention to their at-bats and their winning style of baseball, it just doesn't matter who they use. I mean, they've won no problem without Alex Gordon in left field, one of their star players. Any fill-in guys is, I mean, everybody's been filling in, stepping up. Just like we talked about when Alex left with that terrible injury. I'm glad it wasn't an ACL or anything, and watching him out there taking batting practice has been really a fresh sight. But they've been stepping up. Team is 23-13 without Alex Gordon, their unofficial captain.
But you know, that's what good teams do.
That's right.
It's a kind of a vanilla explanation, but a team in the true sense of the word where all 25 guys are doing something. So you're not leaning on one or two. Guthrie again hustling up the line and makes it close. It's the second time he's grounded out to Suarez and made it close, and in between he has a base hit.
Guthrie, there's a little jam shot, but look at it. He says, I got a chance for a knock here. Way to hustle down that line. That away. Jay Guts getting his money's worth. Got him a base hit earlier.
We talked about this yesterday, and the Royals are not used to the National League style of play. Alcides Escobar is. Remember, same thing happened last night. Escobar took his time getting into the batter's box. Dyson got right in there.
And that's twice when Guthrie's made outs. But really, what is the best thing to do is somebody has to remind him. Yeah. You know, if it's an issue. But in the National League, you learn how to play by those rules. And some players just go out and play baseball, and they're not used to the rules. And I remember going from the American League to the National League, and I got pulled out of the game in the middle of the game. And I was so upset. I was wondering, what the heck did I do wrong? The manager's pulling me out of the game. And I went and sat down to the end of the bench, and I'm steaming, mad. And Joe Sparks was my manager in AAA, and he saw me brewing. He saw me steaming mad. He was laughing. He looked at me, and then he motioned for me to come down and sit down there by him. And I said, Skip, man, why would you pull me in the middle of the game? He goes, that's called a double switch. I changed pitchers and I pulled you out and brought somebody else in. Nothing you did wrong. I just want the pitcher.
Probably made the final out in the last inning, or close to the last out in the previous inning.
Didn't even know the rules.
Yep.
Yeah, so that happens.
Jeremy Guthrie is in as good a condition as any Royals pitcher, so he will most likely bounce back from running up the line.
Physically, mentally, he's prepared.
Two and two on Dyson.
good rip. You might have heard that sound. You hear it periodically. We have a speaker, a microphone right down there by the on-deck circle, and when you hear that sound, that's the hitter taking the donut off his bat, and he slams it on the ground, and it makes that clanking sound. It's a familiar sound for baseball people, but if you're a casual fan and you hear that, you go, what the heck are they doing down there? What is that?
Dyson goes the other way and has a 2-out single. That'll give Guthrie a little more time to catch his breath. A lot more stuff on an on-deck circle today than 20 years ago.
Right now, that's a spray can, a little tough skin. So you may not want the pine tar. That's a sticky substance right there. This is a sleeve here, right? You put on your baseball bats, and then you have two different handles there. This one here and this one. They're two different styles. This one here, you can move the weight around. You can screw the weight depending on where you want the balance to be on the bat. And then, of course, the old-fashioned donut that's sitting there. A lot of options for guys with different styles.
Escobar on base 3 times tonight with 2 walks and a base hit. And with Dyson's hit in this inning, the Royals have another 10-hit game. They've had 13 runners in 5 innings.
Lorenzo Cain caught him and passed him last night in steals. Dyson at 23, Cain has 24.
Escobar and Zobrist, the Royals' 1-2 hitters, have been to the plate a combined 6 times, and they have reached 6 times. In the dirt, 2-0. Two and one on Escobar. Chopped out to Phillips. That'll lead him right to first base and over to Votto, and that is the inning. Bottom of the 5th. On the banks of the Ohio River, the Royals lead the Reds 4-3. The American League. They lead 4-3. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game, and we thank Lindsay for sending in her photo. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag KC Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Jason Bourgeois has been a true leadoff hitter. Not only is he batting first, but he has led off an inning 3 times now. In the first inning, he singled. Guthrie then picked him off. And then Bourgeois walked, leading off the third, and scored. And another trip to the mound for Drew Gutierrez. Guthrie is 4 pitches away from 100 for the game.
Gutierrez doing a nice job with Guthrie. Jeremy's been falling behind a lot tonight. He just wants to remind him to get back down in there and let's put some pressure on. No free rides.
And now 3 balls, 1 strike. Guthrie has thrown as many as 111 pitches in a start, and another start 110. That is the 3rd straight inning with a leadoff walk. Dave Island is forced to go to the phone and get the Royals bullpen going in the bottom of the 5th inning. In the game that Guthrie threw 111 pitches, that was 7 innings. And in the game when he threw 110 pitches, that was 7 1/3 innings. And now Luke Hochevar into center field, base hit for Suarez, and the Reds have 2 on with nobody out. Hochevar, by the way, was the only Royals pitcher who did not appear last night. Royals reliever, that is. And now Guthrie's at 100 pitches.
Suarez has looked good. He's one of the more productive Reds in this little short 2-game series, but last night that home run, man, that stood for the whole game, for the 9th inning that he hit off of Eddie Volquez.
Joey Votto homered to straightaway center in the 1st inning and then flied to center in the 3rd. Good pitch over the inside, 0-1. Guthrie has walked 3, but all 3 walks have been to a hitter leading off an inning. A little bit outside, and he has been pitching out of the stretch all night. Reds are batting for the 5th time, and they've had the leadoff man on in 4 of those 5 innings. So a lot of pitching out of the stretch and a lot of stress.
That's a good spot there. That's exactly where you want to put it. Sometimes when you have the reputation of having a great eye, the umpires all know it. That's a beautiful pitch there. That's where
the last 2 pitches.
Yeah, got him right there.
Chris Conroy is the home plate umpire. Got that call, 2-2. Going the other way. Dyson to the track. He's got it. Gerard Dyson. And then makes a wild throw back to the infield, but no further advance. Joey Votto with 2 on, 2 out, goes to the wall in left field. And Dyson is there with a leaping grab.
What a play. I mean, Dyson, he went back on contact. Votto's been hitting the ball to the opposite field with regularity this season and showing power, but this time Dyson was able to measure it just right with a nice leaping catch. That saved Guthrie.
Good awareness there, too, of knowing where he was on the warning track.
It was. He timed it perfectly. Big pick-me-up. Guthrie with a tip of the cap.
And the Reds, are they thinking that that ball hit the wall before it went into Dyson's glove?
Brian Price, he's trying anything and everything. Boy, I don't know.
It looked like that does the E right in the middle of the E give way before it goes into his glove?
It looks like it's all glove.
Or is that the glove hitting the wall?
I think it's the glove hitting the wall, because I saw all ball and nothing but black leather around it.
Another angle. Now there it looked like it went right into the glove.
Looked clean to me.
Here's the one that's just a little confusing here, because is it the glove that pushes the wall back, or is it the ball that pushes the wall back? Or at least the nylon in front of the padding. Going to say that he made the catch. Now we'll find out if the call stands or if it's confirmed. The call is confirmed. So the umpire in New York felt that Dyson made the play. Enough evidence there. So it's a fly ball out to left field for Votto, and now runners at first and second, 1 out. So Guthrie and the Royals survive a little scare for now. Guthrie's at 105 pitches. And now it's Phillips, who is a big out for Guthrie in the 3rd inning. Phillips is also homered tonight. With the tying run at 3rd and 1 out in the 3rd. And Phillips at the plate. Phillips popped up to Zobrist at second base.
Boy, if Guthrie ever needed a double play and he hadn't rolled one over yet tonight, this is it here. And haven't seen Zobrist turn a double play. I'd like to see that happen. A little 6-4-3.
Good pitch. 2-1. 108 pitches for Guthrie. Three and 1. Jay Bruce is on deck. Full count. And once again, Butera going to go out and have a chat with Guthrie. May have gotten away with one here. Yep.
Yeah, better believe that. He's to say, hey, look, come on now, let's roll a pair here.
Dave Island is on the steps, so he is ready to make a move as Hochevar's been warming up. This next pitch will tie Guthrie's season high, 111. And Phillips hits it back to Guthrie, who got a glove on it and tried to play it to second base. All hands are safe, and the Reds have the bases loaded. And it's a base hit for Phillips.
Too bad, man. Guthrie, nice try with the reflexes. Excellent fielding pitcher. Just couldn't quite glove this. If had he would have probably gotten a double play out of it.
So Guthrie goes 4 1/3. Luke Hochevar comes on. A Chevy call to the bullpen, and he'll have the bases loaded, 1 out, waiting for him.
Not to pitch last night, and the Royals, the bullpen was spectacular in that game. Only the 4th time in team history that the bullpen has thrown at least 7 innings, allowed no runs, and given up 1 hit or less. It was the first time since 1992. In that game, the Royals trailed the Rangers 5-1. Nolan Ryan was on the hill, but they hung in there to win it, scoring 3 in the 8th and 9th. The save in that game, Jeff Montgomery, who came on to strike out a pair in the last inning for his 8th save.
Did he remember that game?
No.
It's because he didn't give up a home or anything. He always remembers all the bad things.
Luke Hochevar with Jay Bruce at the plate. Appears to be a tight strike zone tonight. Bruce has lined to deep center and flied to left. Bourgeois at third. Suarez is at second. Phillips is at first.
Cutter there, that last pitch there, he'll go cutters in the low 90s. We've seen some 96s from Hoch. There's a little 95 action. Good running hard fastball. Good overhand curveball. Really needs to execute here to keep his team in the lead.
Hochevar has 2 games against the Reds he will never forget. In 2009, he had an 80-pitch complete game.
Wow.
And then the next year here in Cincinnati, in fact, the last time he was on this mound is when he injured his right elbow and went on the disabled list. That'll be out of play. And during the examination, Hochevar first learned that the ulnar collateral ligament was torn. And so he knew that eventually it was going to blow out and he'd have Tommy John surgery, but that was 2010, and it didn't blow out until spring training of 2014. So he was on the mound here in Cincinnati when the elbow went from being tight to being injured. And he had to rehab that thing every single day just to stay on the mound, and he got a lot of mileage before it finally did blow out in spring training last season.
Another great sign by Dayton Moore to give him another opportunity, give him a 2-year deal, and look what he's done. And they knew it would take some time to get him back, and they kind of, you know, they babied him along there at first in minor league action, and they brought him up, and you know, they pitched him a little bit. He got lit up a few times because he didn't have his rhythm down. And then they started going back-to-back innings with him, and then they knew eventually he would get his stuff back, and he has. He's brought that ERA down from 6 down to where it is now. 3.58.
Broken bat and a pop-up, and it's Hochevar. And it drops. Infield fly rule has been called, and the Royals have a chance for a double play. Bourgeois did not know the rule. So when the ball dropped, he felt like he had to go to home plate. Jim Riggleman is talking it over with him. So the Royals, by benefit of the infield fly rule, had an automatic out. And Bourgeois, at his own risk, came down from third. And the Royals get a double play.
Oh, Jay Guts is going good. Hoch getting the job done in a freakish way. You just never know what you're going to see in baseball. There it is. First of all, the pitcher, he's lining up to catch it. Haas is going to let him go. Hoch knew that he was looking for Haas and then ran right into the out.
Yeah, but if he catches it, they only get one out.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, they worked on that all throughout spring training. And it wasn't until game number 119 that they pulled it off. I've always felt that pitchers are athletic enough to handle a pop-up. And he was all over it, and he backed off. And then he and Hosmer talked about it.
But you're right. He catches it. He's
ruining my theory.
Yeah. You know, Bourgeois, we'll have to see where he was. I mean, it looked to me like He started off close to third, and then he came when he saw it drop. He just kept coming home.
Foul ball off the bat of Zobrist, who leads off our Sonic Slam inning. And our contestant tonight is Diana Gossett from Kansas City, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Diana wins $700. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Diana wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. Ben Zobrist is 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and a single. Two balls, 2 strikes. Zobrist, Kane, Hosmer coming up in the 6th inning. Still waiting to hear the official scoring on that last play.
Walk or a knock for a perfect night at the plate for Zobrist right here.
Pulled foul. Nice play by the ball boy. All right, they just announced it. It is a pop-up to Hochaver, even though he didn't catch it because of the infield fly rule. So he gets the put out, and then 1-2 to get Bourgeois, who came down from third.
So Bourgeois should have stayed at third base. Now that play, third base coach should maybe alert him. Get in there.
4 hits for Ben Zobrist, and he's on to begin the 6th inning. Go ahead, continue.
You know, sometimes if the third base coach is there to remind the hitter of certain situations, but really, I mean, it's hard to call an infield hit. Now he's going back to the bag, and Riggleman should have been saying, "Stay there, stay there, stay there." But see, Bourgeois got caught up in the action, and he saw it drop, and he's saying, "I'm supposed to go home now." Riggleman, the third base coach here on the left, saying, "Well, maybe it was my bad. Maybe I didn't remind him to get back to the bag." That's a play that doesn't happen all that often.
The infield fly rule is called quite a bit, but very rarely is the ball dropped. And it's the instinct of a runner with the bases loaded. He's got to go to the next base.
And that's why they invented the infield fly rule. So a guy can intentionally drop it and get a double play.
Right. Lorenzo Cain drove in 2 with a single in the 2nd inning. The Royals have had great production from the first 4 hitters tonight. Escobar's been on base 3 times, scored twice. Zobrist has been on 4 times, scored twice, driven in a run. Cain has driven in 2. Hosmer has driven in 1. It's just foul. So all of the runs scored and all the runs driven in have come from a combination of Escobar, Zobrist, Cain, and Hosmer. This is the 2nd full inning for Pedro Villarreal, his 3rd inning overall. And he strikes out Cain, and Lorenzo knew it. Now, getting back to pop-ups to pitchers, anytime we have a goofy play like we just had in the bottom of the 5th inning, we always go back to 2 years ago at Citi Field in New York.
It's always worth seeing again.
for me, that never gets old. That was Pedro Feliciano pitching for the Mets. Pop up, and he did the right thing. What a pitcher's supposed to do is point in the air, which Denny Matthews thinks that that's hilarious when a pitcher points in the air, like, you know, you're pointing right at the ball and the guy's going to find the ball because you're pointing in a certain direction. Although what a pitcher's really doing there, that's a swing by Hosmer. What a pitcher's really doing there is telling the catcher it's in the air, so, you know, try and find it. So he did the right thing. Unlike most pitchers, Feliciano, he didn't want any part of that pop-up. Most pitchers, they want to prove that they can catch a pop-up. I mean, they shag batting practice every day.
Yeah.
Hosmer can't believe that was called a swing. He may have crossed the plane, but the question is, was he attempting to strike the baseball?
He's getting out of the way of the ball on his back leg. Oops. Oh, man. I can see what Hosmer's saying. And what Hosmer was saying to home plate umpire Chris Conroy, hey, get some help. Ask the third base umpire.
So anyway, just to finish the Feliciano story, so he didn't want anything part of it. He's trying to get an infielder, but you can hear in the background his teammates, Petey, short for Pedro. Petey, I mean, it's like 10 guys all at once. Petey, 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 take it, take it.
Well, the field microphones were set perfectly.
2-2 on Hosmer. And then Feliciano in the dugout afterwards saying, I didn't want any part of it, you know, but
nobody else was
forced to catch it.
Yeah, no one could get to it.
Down goes Hosmer. Still not very happy with Chris Conroy. And now there are 2 down. Royals fans, did you know the StubHub app is personalized just for you? Now with the app, you can select your teams and artists, discover new favorites, and grab tickets wherever you want. Get to your app store today and get the StubHub app. Let the fun find you. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Royals. Mike Moustakas down around the end of the bat, and Bourgeois charges in and makes the play. So Villarreal, out of the Reds bullpen, has turned in 2 2/3 scoreless. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Royals lead by 1.
this shot from Big Papi David Ortiz, closing in on 500 homers. Kluber gave up 4 home runs in the contest. Luke Hochevar is back on the hill and the proud owner of a double play, right?
He could have caught that ball.
Yeah, but he heard footsteps and he knew instinctively that he shouldn't catch that, and he was looking for Haas.
Well, the most important thing is that Hochevar came on with the bases loaded, 1 out, and he got that pop-up from Jay Bruce, which resulted in the double play and got the Royals out of the inning. And now Todd Frazier in the 6th. And if they're all available, Luke Hochevar can get the Royals through the 6th inning. Now you're talking about Herrera, Davis, Holland. Only 1 inning away from that. 3-1 on Frazier.
The bullpen's anything like they were last night. Cincinnati's in trouble. Villarreal, Cincinnati pitcher's just doing a fantastic job of working that sinker, slider, cutters.
And 2 on Frazier. Tucker Barnhart will be next, and then Skip Schumacher. All the scoring tonight was done in the first 3 innings. Squirted off the end of the bat. Zobrist throws out Frazier. 4-game series with the Red Sox begins tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Fizz will be with you on Fox Sports Kansas City. We will be at Fenway Park. Danny Duffy, Wade Miley tomorrow, and Johnny Cueto on Friday night against Henry Owens, who is the Red Sox #1 pitching prospect going into this year. So Duffy, Cueto, Ventura, Volquez. We were showing you earlier tonight that the Cincinnati Reds, with 5 rookies in their starting rotation, have by far the fewest experience of collective starts. But the Red Sox were also on that list. They've gone through a lot of changes. So they have one of the most inexperienced starting rotations, and the Royals will see a lot of youth. They will see 3 rookie starters beginning on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon.
A couple lefties, and actually 3 out of the 4 the Royals are going to face are left-handed. Wade Miley, Henry Owens, Matt Barnes is a righty, and Eduardo Rodriguez.
So a lot of pitchers just getting rid of the training wheels on this road trip.
Time to mop them up and continue to bank wins. If you can, but you know, these teams are competing. This is turned out to be a pretty good ball game here, even though it's not exactly flying by. Nice pitch.
2 down in the 6th inning as Hochevar strikes out his first.
That cutter's an excellent pitch for Hochevar. It's almost a borderline slider with that kind of action. That's downward action. Plenty of life in that dugout.
And now 0-1 on Skip Schumacher.
You know, wherever Salvi is, there's life. That guy is a ball of energy. Got his shin guards on.
Who are they messing with? Ventura?
I think so.
0-2 on Schumacher. Those two had bats tonight against Guthrie. Guthrie went 4 1/3. Hochevar got the final 2 outs of the 5th and the first 2 in the 6th, and make it 3 outs in the 6th with 2 strikeouts.
Great job, Hoch.
Hall of Famer Joe Morgan statue outside Great American Ballpark. Royals lead 4-3. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By AT&T UVerse high-speed internet, the UVerse revolves around you. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. Looks like it's raining. It is not, but we did have a 1 hour 37-minute rain delay. Royals fans staying up late, hoping for a 2-game sweep here. Reds have made a couple of changes. First of all, Sam LeCure, who's from Jefferson City, just called up after the 13-inning game last night from AAA Louisville. Brennan Bosch was also called up after the game last night. Royals have seen him with the Tigers. He's in left field. So that would be a double switch as left fielder Skip Schumacher, or previous left fielder Skip Schumacher, made the final out. And LeCure will get Rios, Butera, and the pitcher spot. LeCure preceded by Pedro Villarreal, who did a nice job. And then this one would be an area of concern for the Reds. Ivan DeJesus Jr. coming on for Brandon Phillips. I'm sure Brian Price didn't want to lose that bat in this part of the game. So just like losing Hamilton in the game last night, DeJesus tested right away and throws out Rios. Alex is 1 for 4. So we'll pass along any information on Brandon Phillips. Villarreal gave up only 2 hits and 2 2/3 scoreless after starter Kivas Sampson threw 95 pitches in 3 1/3 innings.
Sam, he's got all the pitches. Sinking fastball, 89 to 93. Slider, curve, and a change.
McCure's been a big part of the Reds bullpen the previous 4 seasons, but had some problems throwing strikes at the end of last year that carried into spring training. So he started this year in AAA to get his fastball command back. Guys in the truck picked this up in regard to Brandon Phillips. That was on the dive after the Zobrist base hit. Slow getting up. Just dangling his right arm. It's a second night in a row. Billy Hamilton last night went diving in right center field and landed heavy on his shoulder, and that put him on the disabled list. Sam LeCure, born in Jefferson City, graduated from Elias High School. He is the youngest of 8 kids. Wow. 2 up, 2 down in the 7th inning. If you're a Royals fan and looking to attend the Kansas City Irish Fest, get your tickets today for Irish Heritage Night at Kauffman Stadium, Wednesday, September 2nd, starting at just $22. Special ticket package gets you both a game ticket to watch the Royals and the Tigers and a single-day admission to the Kansas City Irish Fest the following weekend. Royals.com/special events. Paulo Orlando bats for Luke Hochevar. And LeCure is in for strike 1. So it's Madsen getting ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. Madsen turned in one of the 7 scoreless innings for the Royals bullpen last night. Paulo, left center field. Bourgeois is there, and that's the inning. LeCure comes out of the bullpen. 3 up, 3 down. Stretch time in Cincinnati. It's still a 1-run game.
The league, and we told you about New York beating Minnesota. They sweep them. Seattle loses to Texas. Cleveland drops to Boston, and Baltimore 5-4 over New York. One other score to point out right now, guys. Detroit winning 13-7 over the Cubs. In that game, John Lester gave up 7 earned runs. Daniel Norris, the pitcher from the Price trade, the David Price trade, hit his first major league homer. Later came out of the game with a strained oblique.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't find out it was because a result of the home run. Ryan Madson will pitch the 7th inning. Not Kelvin Herrera. Ned Yost has been, as you know, trying to rest his bullpen as much as possible, especially here in the month of August. And so every night when we get to the 7th inning, if it's not Kelvin Herrera, then we wonder, okay, what's the combination going to be tonight? Who is available? Who is not available? Sometimes we have guessed correctly. Sometimes we have not. Greg Holland threw the most pitches of any Royals reliever of the HDH combination, and he warmed up twice last night. In the 9th inning, after Zobrist hit the home run to tie it, remember there was that play where they had the review at home plate on Lorenzo Cain. Bosch strikes out. The call on the field was that Cain was safe. So for a moment, the Royals had a 2-1 lead. And therefore, Greg Holland had to get hot. That's the bullpen terminology for getting ready to come into the game. And then the call was overturned, and Greg Holland had to sit down and didn't warm up again for another 4 innings, or at least get hot again for another 4 innings.
Yep, that'll mess with the pitcher's arm, that's for sure.
So maybe it's Holland who's not available tonight. We'll see. That was the play that led to Ned Yost being ejected later in the game. In the 11th inning, Alcides Escobar singled to right center field, tried to stretch it into a double. Hamilton threw him out, and Escobar was called out. The Royals used their challenge. The final result was that the call stands, and Ned Yost felt like it was inconclusive on Cain at home plate, but they called him out. And he felt like this was inconclusive, but this one did not go the Royals' way, so he came out and argued with Mark Carlson and got ejected from the game.
And I was talking to him about that today, and he was still a little animated about that whole thing, and some of those the replay system, he feels there's some flaws in it, like a lot of people do, but they're continuing to work on that with Major League Baseball. But he said the thing that he was most proud of is that his wife Deborah was watching at home, and she commended him. Oh,
Hosmer, sliding play right in front of the Reds dugout. It's a tip of the cap from Ryan Madson.
Oh, good timing on that little sliding catch.
And as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Just in time. Look at Haas. Great timing and judgment there. It keeps it in his glove right in the fingertips. Hits the heel. Tough play. But he wears the gold for a reason. Nice. Anyway, his wife Deborah said, "I'm proud of you because you didn't use any bad words." And Ned said, "Hey, look. My wife was proud of me." So good job, Ned.
And today's Ned's birthday.
That's right.
On Suarez. 96, and boy, you could hear the pop glove all throughout downtown Cincinnati.
These guys mean business. I'll tell you, plays like that, though, we've seen all year. Saves the pitch count of the pitcher and really gives him a boost on a foul ball.
Madsen needed just 11 pitches to get through his inning last night, which was the 7th. Ned Yost used Ryan Madsen, Chris Young, Wade Davis, Kelvin Herrera, Franklin Morales, Chris Medlin, and Greg Holland. Ryan Madsen, the 7th inning belonged to him tonight. He faces 3 and retires 3.
With the help of an outstanding play. Way to go, Haas. First hit. Okay, here's the second hit. Beautiful handsy hit. We'll show it again. How quick he was to the ball. Now his third hit. Nice little pull shot. And there it is again, just to let you see that inside look. Now, there's the fourth hit. Just like the third one by Phillips. Zobrist, his first 4-hit game of the season. And he's going to have another shot to get a 5-hit, and he's had one of those in his career.
He will bat third in the inning. It'll be Dyson, Escobar, and then Zobrist. Slow curveball for a strike from Sam LeCure. He came on last inning and got Rios Butera in Orlando. Dyson is 1 for 3 tonight and has a big defensive play. Back in the 5th inning, and the score was still 4-3 Royals. Reds had runners at first and second and nobody out, and Joey Votto at the plate.
Excellent timing and great awareness of where the wall was. And, you know, to me, watching that again, Dyson didn't look back to the wall. He didn't have time to. So he knew exactly where he was. And that warning track is a big help for outfielders. Once you get on the track, you know you're getting close to the wall. That's why they have it out there. They call it a warning track.
Dyson was not supposed to play last night. Omar Infante was in the original lineup and then was scratched with back spasms. Dyson ended up with 2 hits. He scored the go-ahead run in the 13th inning. Back in there again tonight with a hit in that play out in left field. Still 1-2 as that rolls to Pedro Grifol. We hope to see Rusty Kuntz in Boston tomorrow. Rusty's been under the weather and back in KC. Though Pedro's been filling in at first base. Chopped out to DeJesus. One out in the 8th inning. Reds bullpen's done a nice job so far tonight. They've gone 4 scoreless innings. Alcides Escobar. 2 walks, a single, and 2 runs scored. And really got the Royals going, as he often does in the first inning. He was down 0-2 against Sampson and ended up with a walk and scored the first of his 2 runs. Royals lead 4-3 in the 8th inning. They have not scored since the 2nd. Sam LeCure looks like a guy who should have a sheriff's badge on in Tombstone.
Put a cowboy hat on.
Fair ball. Escobar thinks that the ball hit him. Chris Conroy says no. So Barnhart just tagged him out. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
Hell, if it would have hit him, he was out of the box.
Right.
Would have been out anyway. Because it just missed him here.
And now Ben Zobrist with a chance for his 5th hit.
Five hits in a night, very hard to do. I mentioned earlier he's done it 1 time in his career.
Head in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. 2 years ago, Ben Zobrist had a 5-hit game, June 10th. That was a 14-inning game. He has a chance to get 5 hits in 8 innings tonight. 2-1. Vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com. You'll be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House.
That 3.5 hole over there on the right side's been hot for him. He's got a couple of hits there.
Two and two. 5-hit game was against the Boston Red Sox at Tropicana Field when Zobrist was playing for the Rays, and he has hit .385 since joining the Royals. LeCure strikes him out. 2 scoreless innings, 2 perfect innings for Sam LeCure. And now we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Votto, DeJesus, and Bruce are coming up. Royals are hanging on with a 4-3 lead.
Baseball Corporation and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Royals. That means don't copy it. Hey, Ryan Lefevre, my outstanding partner. Joe Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. Final game here. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, and they're hanging on with Kelvin Herrera towing the slab here. Trying to get her done. Not quite done yet, but Herrera has done an excellent job this year. Opponents aren't doing much off him. 180. 54 in the third innings. Look at the strikeouts, 49. He's got that power fastball. Nice occasional sliders and excellent changeup at 88 to 90. Votto stepping in. They all know what's coming, believe me. Face a guy that throws that hard, 100 miles an hour. You're up there hacking. Got to be careful with Votto, though. He's got some good pop. Back in the first inning, they hit back-to-back homers off Jeremy Guthrie. Votto provided the first one, went way out of here. And Brandon Phillips followed him up with a homer. Now he's checking his lumber. He says, I want to find the right one. Some gasoline right there on the outer half of the plate. He had no chance on that. Herrera blows him away. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, that's tough to be able to see that pitch there and to get a good piece of wood on it, especially when it's up and away from you like that.
You're doing a great job, by the way.
Oh, Rhino, I thought you were going to take a break. You are.
I am. Can I be the color guy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You already are a good color guy.
Thanks for that shot of my bald spot, by the way.
This is De Jesus who's hitting here. His dad was a heck of a ball player. A little bit before my time, but I remember him.
Parts of 15 years with the Phillies and the Cubs.
Yep. Herrera, with the success he has on that fastball, if they're not getting a good swing on it, he'll continue to throw it in there. Upper 90s. Just a few ticks from tomorrow here on the East Coast. Oh yeah, that's a nice spot. Mixed in a little slider there. Keep him honest.
He's been throwing that a lot more in the second half.
We didn't see it all the first half.
And that's not an exaggeration. I mean, we hardly saw it at all.
Good rip there. When you're a player like De Jesus and you don't get a chance to play that often, man, you want to impress that manager. Try to get it. You get a hit off Herrera. That's good. Nice swing. Follow live Royals baseball with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Royals all season. Whenever you are with the MLB.TV game of the day, in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Browse the app's new features, including stat tracking, videos, and bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. There's a pop-up. Ball comes down, I guarantee he's out. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. There it is. It's getting close. Hour and a half rain delay before the game.
There you go. It's tomorrow.
That's right. We're into tomorrow officially. That's makes an arrival time in Boston tonight for the team, maybe somewhere around 4 o'clock.
Dave Holtzman looked it up, and as far as pitch breakdown goes, the stats say that Herrera didn't throw a slider until a month ago, July 21st. So after the All-Star break.
Todd Frazier finally checks in the 2 games. First hit of the 2-game series for him.
And then since throwing that first slider, he's thrown it about 12% of the time. And I think it's a little more than that once we got into August. Well, Frazier gets a hit, but the Royals are more concerned about him putting the ball out of the ballpark.
Tucker Barnhart stepping in. Pena on deck, but they'll leave him there. All right, nice job by Herrera. Give up a walk and a knock, but he's out of the inning into the 8th.
.43 our score. That was the score at the end of 3. So it looked like it was going to be a wild Great American Ballpark game. But here we are. Top of the 9th inning. Ben Zobrist has had the biggest game for the Royals with 4 hits. The Reds bullpen has done a very good job after starter Kivas Sampson only went 3 1/3 innings. Pedro Villarreal 2 2/3 scoreless. Sam LeCure 2 scoreless, and now the well-rested Jumbo Diaz comes on for the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, Brian Price uses him usually towards the end of the game. We saw him earlier out there sitting there having a little focus time. We don't know if he was napping or not, but should be well rested enough to go. 93 to 100. He's got a power fastball slider.
Lorenzo Cain at the moment has the game-winning RBI if the Royals keep this lead and win the game. In a 2-2 tie with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, Cain singled in Escobar and Zobrist. Royals led 4-2 at that point. The Reds got a run in the 3rd, and that's been all the scoring.
Both teams' bullpens have been solid tonight. Little insurance would be nice.
So it is Greg Holland who Ned Yost is going to try and stay away from. Wade Davis will pitch the bottom of the 9th inning. .97 miles an hour from Jumbo Diaz. .6'4", 278 pounds. A couple of years ago, he was almost 350 pounds. Now 98. Told you a story last night. In 2001, he signed with the Dodgers and did not get to the big leagues until last year in his 13th professional season. And with an arm like that, you wonder why. Cain, Hosmer, Moustakas in the 9th inning. De Jesus makes the play on a little broken bat bloop. 1 away. Fox Sports Kansas City invites you to join current and former Royals players on the field August 31st for Diamond of Dreams. Enjoy a delicious menu from local restaurants, live music from the American authors, and a fireworks show, and it's all for charity. Get those tickets now at Royals.com/Diamond of Dreams. Diaz to Hosmer. He's gone right up the ladder with his velocity. 97, 98. That pitch was at 99. Hosmer drove in a run in the 1st inning, so he has an RBI in 10, or make that 11 of his last 11 games. 11 of his, let me get this right. Eric Hosmer has an RBI in 11 of his last 12 games. Did you get that?
Yeah, you know.
And he has a 10-game hitting streak.
It's pretty impressive for Hosmer and for you to get it out on August 20th.
Yep. And on the 3rd try.
It's okay. Glad you took back over the play-by-play role. It's not easy.
Didn't mean to. 2-1. It's the 3rd hitting streak of 10 or more games for Hosmer this year. Batting average is at .318. Three and 1. Where the night started, Hosmer was 4th in the American League in batting average. Jason Kipnis leads the league at .325, so 7 points in front of Hosmer. He's on for a second time. Mike Moustakas 1 for 4 with a single to right field in the third inning. Well hit to center field. Bourgeois all the way back to the track to make the play. So it sounded good, but Moustakas got underneath it just enough. And now 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Yeah, if he just stayed on top of that a little more, he'd have got it.
Alex Rios had a first inning single. The Royals have 11 hits. It is the 52nd time the Royals have had 10 or more hits. Only the Tigers have more in the American League. Hosmer and Barnhart's throw got him, so that ends the inning. Royals hoping to tack on a run. Barnhart denies the Royals that. And it will be Wade Davis in the bottom of the 9th inning. Should be a quick one, but all the information that you need is the Royals will be getting on a bus shortly after the game ends, heading to the airport and flying to Boston. So a save opportunity for Wade Davis, who is 9 for 9 in save opportunities this year. Make that 9 for 10, but the blown save was not in the 9th inning. It was an 8th inning save opportunity. Marlon Byrd in the pitcher's spot is down, no balls and 1 strike. Royals bullpen this year against the Cincinnati Reds has thrown 15 2/3 innings and given up 1 earned run. 0-2 on Byrd.
They did it last night and they're doing it again tonight. So far so good. Byrd 0 for 2 off the bench for Brian Price this season. Saw a cutter and a curveball. Hadn't even seen the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Davis didn't see the signs. Butera said, all right. Give you a little more clarity here.
Broken bat in half. Ball to the right side, bat to the left side. Bird is out, one away in the 9th inning. That is a destroyed baseball bat.
It's gone. Seen quite a few of those tonight. Off the end of the bat, that happens. Cutter away, staying out of the middle of the plate. Nice location, good command.
Davis pitched last night, and he pitched the 9th inning. Bosch breaks his bat and gets it over Moustakas.
Ball was up, and that bat died a hero, no doubt.
Brian Price only has Brian Pena on his bench, so Bosch is not a fast runner, but Brian Price doesn't have a better option. Tying run at first. Bourgeois at the plate with one out in the 9th inning. 0-1. Wade Davis faced 3 and retired 3 last night with a couple of strikeouts. A little bit outside at 95.
Talking with Wade before the game today about the bullpen. We were talking about Holland and how he got up a couple of times, and I said, you know, how many pitches do you need down there to get warm? And he says, you know, you don't give max effort down there. You just kind of get loose. You're not throwing every pitch like you would when you come into the game. So it saves a little bit on your arm. Got a man there.
2 down.
And he said, you know, so you have to kind of monitor that. And it takes some getting used to out there in the bullpen. When you've been a starter and you go in that pen, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but just getting loose, almost like playing catch.
And now Eugenio Suarez drove in a run last night with a home run. He's driven in a run tonight with a double. One. Joey Votto is on deck. Curveball is down. I would say there are more Royals fans here right now than Reds fans.
Yep, I would agree with you. Just like last night.
Just outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. And 3-1, so 1 pitch away from Votto coming to the plate. Full count. Suarez not expecting a fastball there. 97. I thought, or the swing was like an afterthought. Now Bosch will be running on the next pitch.
Ooh, man, that's an excellent spot. Little cheese at the knees.
Grounded foul. Runner goes, and we'll do it again.
Bosch getting a little workout here late or early, depending on how you look at it.
Just high. Wade Davis looked like he was walking off the mound thinking the game was over. And
wow.
I think Drew Butera thought the game was over.
Should have been. Where was that?
Well, it's been a tight strike zone all night.
Little drama here.
Wade Davis taking a little extra time maybe to cool down, and Drew Butera, a veteran catcher, immediately ran out there, probably knowing that it was a strike, saying, hey, let's forget about it. Let's move on because this guy's dangerous. He's only seen Wade Davis once. In on his hands, 0-1.
Good pitch. Votto, his last at bat saw Herrera, so he's used to seeing that high velocity. But it's all about location, where you're going to put it. Tie him up there, up and away. Herrera got him to strike out. See if Davis elects to use that curveball. Might stay with his fastballs and cutters. Let's see.
Votto looks like he's choking way up on the bat.
I noticed that.
Realizing that he just needs to get the ball to the outfield to tie the game. Bosch is not a good runner. He did not get a good read. If he had, Reds would have a chance to have runners at second and third, and a single could have won the game.
Yeah, you know, that ball bounced plenty far away for the runners to advance. Votto was trying to wave him over. Dyson's got a great arm in left field. We know that. 6 outfield assists. Rios has 3. Kane has 5. Just in case.
Good spot. Up and out of the strike zone, 99 miles an hour.
That might be the best velocity we've seen from Davis this year.
Did he go? No.
Umpires making it a little tough for Davis here. Last part of the game here. Looked like he did a good job.
Boy.
Let's see from here. It's a better angle here. It's just why they always ask the umpire who's furthest away has a better look.
Three and two. DeJesus is on deck. Well, Wade Davis can get anybody out. And yet you wonder here with the runners going, do you want to give Votto a chance to beat you, or do you want to make it DeJesus?
I think Wade Davis is thinking he can get Votto here, but he better be very careful. Stay with that fastball up.
Runners go again. Struck him out. 2 long nights in Cincinnati, but worth the wait. Royals win in 13 innings last night, in 9 innings tonight after a 1-hour 37-minute rain delay. Ned Yost on his birthday celebrates a Royals victory as Wade Davis gets Joey Votto to end the game and the series.
Nasty cutter. I mean, nasty. And you could see Votto's expression on his face. He was like, oh, man, was that one a tough one. Waiter?